Now most people think when you make a buying choice, you review a lot of technical information, then you go on and exploration and see which of the different products that you've explored better, and then through this intellectual process, you determine the thing that you want. That's how we think that we make choices about all of our buying. But actually, that's not true. You have never made a choice that way, and actually, you never will. Choices are an emotional reaction that exists completely outside of your thinking process. I'm going to say that again. Choices are actually an emotional reaction that exists outside of your thinking process. Let me tell you a little bit about choices and how the brain works. There's this part of our brain called the limbic system, and this is where our choices actually take place. Now, the limbic system is a very interesting part of the brain in that it has no doors or windows. It exists in sort of this dark room. And the limbic system is activated by our emotions. So when marketers try to tell you something, it doesn't work. So the way that people try to get you interested in a product or service is to activate that emotional part of your brain. Right? The other part of your brain is called the prefrontal cortex, and that's all the technical stuff. But the technical information is not how we make choices. So I want to tell you a little story about that. It's about a box of silk scarves. Back in the late 50s, there was a large department store chain that did some market research. And they had a bunch of women come in, and they asked them different questions about the products at their store. And one of the questions that they asked was, what color scarf would you like? If you were going to buy a scarf, what color would you like? And most of the women said blue. And they asked them a bunch of other questions. Then at the end of the market research session, they had a box of silk scarves, and they said, thank you for your time. Please feel free to take a free scarf as our thank you. It wasn't part of the marketing research. But what happened is, a really with-it young marketing executive looked and watched that even though the women said that they wanted a blue scarf, the scarf that they took was red. Why did they do that?
Colorblind.
We're good on that colorblind.
Not me.
They are. They're colorblind women.
You can tell that
So
to
there are a
be
lot of them in that
quiet.
room.
Because they will judge.
This is great. No. This is terrific. I would much rather have interaction than not. So they pulled the women back in. After like 3 or 4 times of this happening, they pulled them back in. They said, why did you pick the red scarf? And they said blue. And what do you think their answer was?
It was pretty great.
It was there.
Got their attention.
The answer was, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. Yeah, I said I wanted a blue scarf, but I picked the red one. And so they got the men out of the room, and they just brought women in to interview them. And then after a while, one of the women had an epiphany, and she said, I didn't want to think of myself as a whore. The color blue represents purity. It's the sky, it's water, it's clean. What's the color red represent?
Oars. Frank Gorshin.
At that part of history, sexuality was very contained, and so the women didn't want to think of themselves this way. But there was a part of it that was exciting. So secretly, deep down in their limbic system, they wanted to think of themselves as the drag strip girl, but they didn't want to betray themselves that way.
Yeah.
So they wanted to portray to the world that they were good, clean girls, but this is what they really wanted. So the other thing was that market research around that time asked questions about laundry. They said, what's most important to you? And they said, getting our clothes white. So there was a lot of marketing done around getting clothes white, you know? But then the market research people started going to laundromats, and they watched women take clothes out of the dryer. And they didn't hold the clothes up to the light to see if the clothes were white. They touched them around their face, and they smelled them. And what they recognized is that the thing that they were asking for wasn't what they wanted. And that's how Bounce was created. Because they wanted to tie the experience of the dryer to to what the consumer really wanted.